I've done lots of challenges in my life, and I found out that of what use are we in this world if we don't actually break our limits? One thing is sure, and that thing is eternity. But the other thing that we are thinking is sure is failure. But you can actually not know if you're going to fail if you don't actually try. Which is what brings me into doing this challenge. I've gotten funded multiple times with pro firms, with FundedNext and a couple other pro firms, but then I've been doing this personally. I've always wanted to get a payout. I've always wanted to have my name on the wall in a certificate, and I've done that. I've basically completed that. I've always wanted a black certificate. Here is it. This is one of my favorite, most loved certificates. Why? Because it's actually unique. Not every single trader you know that trade pro firm have this. Now, coming together, having this whole information in my mind, I asked myself this question: of what use will it be trying to avoid that burning desire in my heart, which is to break the limits of getting funded in your front, in the presence of every single person who has believed in me, who has believed they can get funded, and who has believed prop firm is actually the way. I want to show you the example of how to get funded and make that dream come true. I've been trading the market for over 2 years, and I know for sure and for a certain that failure is inevitable. But it is only those who quit that fails. I read a quote the other day, and it says, I'm going to phrase it in a better way so this video doesn't get banned. Unless a person is unalive, every loss is psychological. Which means that regardless of any loss you have, as long as you are still alive, it is psychological. It is not physical. And I came across a post today, and it says, failure and fear is only borrowed. It is never created. Failure is an illusion. I started 100 to 1 million. If you know me for quite a while now, you will know that I started that challenge and I really wanted to get funded. But I said, how about we go 100 to 1 million naira? 100,000 naira to 1 million naira. Guess what? I tried, but I failed. But then I looked at it and I loved that failure. Why? Because if I had not failed, I don't think I'll be able to get funded. To God who made me, I don't think I'll be able to be the pecs that you are looking up to or admire or you like, because I would have been failing back to back, let alone in this Donald Trump regime. This market is really, really messed up. But every single thing that I know today, 70% of it was originated from that failure. What am I trying to make you understand? In the next 30 days, I am going to be getting funded with FundedNext in the front of 500 traders. This way, we are going to be looking forward to making it past the phase 1, past the phase 2, and be in the funded stage within these 30 days. And these are the rules that are going to guide us to getting this possible. The first one is very, very important, but not as important as the last, because every single trade is going to be sent out on my Instagram story, on my TikTok, on my Telegram. So if you want to partake in this, all you have to do is use the link in the description and join the Telegram community absolutely for free. Every trade, when I mean every trade, is going to be sent there. And the fact that it's going to be sent there, it means you can get funded alongside me. Now, the goal isn't for me to get funded because I am already funded with multiple accounts. But it is to show that you can actually do that thing you want to do without the illusion of being scared. Oh, let me guess. Probably I failed this challenge. You're going to call me a failure. Probably I don't know how to trade. Oh, pecs don't know how to trade. but I'm funded and you're not. Does it make sense? No. One thing I want to make you understand is the trades that we're going to be sending, everything are going to be broken down in the team first, which means the community of traders in the Funded Mastery program are going to be getting the first-hand knowledge of how I'm going to be executing the trade, following it up, and possibly getting the signals from that trade before I even come up to show it out. Why? Because these are people who came into the Funded Mastery program looking to get funded. And yeah, you don't have to gatekeep it. There's some things you put out and there's some things you make exclusive for the exclusive members. So if you want to get direct signals, direct trade ideas, you might want to use the link in the description and join the Funded Mastery program. But if you want to stay around, then every single trade is going to be sent out to the Telegram community, which we've created. And the link for this challenge for the Telegram community is in the description. It is different from the general community. It is just for traders who want to get funded in these 30 days. Now, continuing with the rules. The first rule is every single trade is going to be documented, which means every day the trade we take are going to be documented and compiled. And every week we're going to upload it on YouTube here. So you see the failures and you see the wins. Nothing is going to be gatekept. And one thing I want to assure you is I'm not going to pave my way in FundedNext broker in order to make me pass. If I lose, I come out and say I lost. Are you going to kill me? No. Are you going to do anything to me? No. Basically, you're just going to have in your mindset that, oh, Pex doesn't know how to trade. But like I said, I am funded. But are you funded? Before you criticize, try to be better than the person you are criticizing. And the second rule, it must be only one trade a day. One trade a day. And this means I have the right to trade varieties of pairs. I'm not restricted to any amount of pairs. I can trade any pair I want. Now, all these pairs, that doesn't mean I'll just come up and be like, okay, I'm going to trade this one, I'm going to trade it. No. They're going to be broken down in the Funded Mastery team, and I'm going to be giving them the few trades setup I'm looking out for in a particular pair. So they tend to know that, okay, these are the pairs I'm looking out for, and the trade setup, why I'm looking out for it, the confluences behind it, and when exactly I'm going to be taking it. And possibly signals as well on that trade. So, one trade a day. The second one, it has to be at least 1 to 2 weeks to reward in that trade. At least 1 to 2 weeks to reward on that trade, which means if I'm risking 20 pips, I should be getting from that trade 40 pips in profit, at least. And in 30 days, we should pass the phase 1, the phase 2, and we're probably going to be in the funded stage. Now, I told the people on my Instagram story that I'm looking for a new prop firm. Yeah, I wanted to use funding pips, but funded pips has some rules that I'm not really comfortable with, and that is the rule number 1, the IP rule. But then I understood they scrap out the IP rule. So the second one is the consistency rule. The consistency rule in the sense that you have to trade. If you do a mistake, I mean, opening a trade and closing it within 3 minutes, you can violate the account. And you might place a trade in a pair that you are not supposed to be placing a trade. I don't know if this has happened to you before. You want to place a trade on GBP USD, and the list of pairs you have, you mistakenly press GBP card, and then you put on the lot size as supposed. But then you find out that it is not GBP USD you place the trade on, and then you closed it immediately. Within the space of 1 to 3 minutes, and you do that, it is a mistake, but they don't know. You've lost the account. I'm not comfortable with that because I'm human. I could do that mistake. I've done the mistake even with my FundedNext funded account, but my account didn't get breached. So I do not want to get into this challenge and do the same mistake, regardless of anything. And also remember, I'm going to be trading multiple pairs. So I'm going to have all of them in the watch list, and you might do that mistake. So I'm going to be using FundedNext. And if you want to join us, use the link in the description because there's going to be a coupon code there that is going to grant you a 120% return when you get an account. Remember, we're trading prop firms, so you need to have your own prop firm to be able to pass. I'm not going to give you my own prop firm for you to pass for me. All right? That is number 3 rule. Number 4, very, very important. I need to have at least a minimum of 2% to 4%, which means I'm going to be risking on my A plus setup 2%, my A plus setup 2%, and my A setup 1%. For instance, I see my A plus setup on NZD card. I'm going to be risking 2% on that trade. 2% on NZD card, and then I'll let it roll at least 1 to 2 risk to reward, which means 2% to get 4%. Now, the phase 1 is 8%, the phase 2 is 5%. So if I have 2% to 4% successfully on one trade, I'm halfway to being successful on the phase 1. And if I have the second trade, which according to my analysis, I used to have back-to-back wins like 3 times in a row before I get a loss, and possibly I could have the back-to-back win, which means I'm passing the challenge in just 2 trades. So that is what I am anticipating. But of course, we have 30 days. But not because we have 30 days, I'm now going to be like, okay, 0.01%. No. On my content, I said, when you're trying to pass a challenge, you don't play it small. You have to understand that it is either you win and you win fast, or you lose and you lose fast. And then you pick yourself up and you keep going. And to the 5th one is every single day, I'm not just going to be doing the trade breakdown and all this stuff. I'm going to be examining all my students' trading journal. That way, we're going to know the trades you took, why you took the trades. This one is for my students, and the exact reason why you exited the trade. If you can actually document all this in the next 30 days, I'm definitely sure you're going to be a beast trader, a very good trader. All right? So, this is going to be an example to show every single person that's trying to get funded that getting funded is not scary. You shouldn't be scared. All you just have to do is have a rule, have a plan, and execute fearlessly. Remember, fear is just an illusion. It is nothing else other than an illusion. June 1st is going to be tomorrow, which is Sunday. Which means I have some trade setups that I'm going to be showing the students in the Sunday swings trades. So I'm going to be expecting some swing trades. I'm going to be expecting some day trades, but I'm going to be explaining every single thing in the Sunday breakdown with the team. So if you want to join the breakdown, very simple, use the link in the description and grab yourself the Funded Mastery program. You're going to be joining the private team right away, and we're going to make it happen. It is very simple. Every single day, we're going to be live streaming these trades on TikTok, on Instagram story, on YouTube. I know most of you guys tuned in for my YouTube live. I was just testing YouTube, and I wanted to see if we can actually live stream on YouTube. And lo and behold, yes, we can. And I love that. Thank you, YouTube. One thing I want to say is this challenge is just to display it is possible. Whatever you put your mind to, it is possible. And what if I fail? Come back again. Simple as that. We're going to be using a $50,000 account on FundedNext to be doing this challenge. So if I fail, I'm just probably going to buy the account again with $300 and try it again. Simple as that. But one thing I know is if I follow my system, if I do my best, even God knows I'm going to win. If you watch to this point, congratulations, because you are going to get funded with me, and we are going to show the world it is really possible to get funded any day, anytime, as long as you have the PEX system. Without further ado, let the challenge begin. Peace.